I hate you.
Episode 17 of The Take is coming your way next. Before you do anything, please like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. This week is dedicated to the Wildcard Weekend. Saints, the Bears, my team, your team. Well, I mean, the Jets are my team.
Yes,
but
Nick has given up on the Jets, everyone.
But the Saints have always been my number two. Always.
He's lying.
It's never not been. This game's on Nickelodeon. So
get your SpongeBob fix while watching some playoff football.
Get slimed. All right, the take's coming up next. Well, the NFL made it. 17 weeks, not one game canceled with this whole COVID thing.
They got all 256 in somehow. Crazy. Games on every day of the week.
I was gonna say with the game schedule for every single day, were played on every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday. The last few weeks were pretty wild, especially with the Steelers. Playing Monday. No, it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday. They played on that Wednesday.
Disaster.
Yeah,
but they got through it. And now we have a 6-game wildcard weekend, something that we haven't had. Now we have the addition of the 2 wildcards, one in each conference. First 7 seed ever. Chicago Bears.
True. Yeah, exactly.
First NFC 7 seed ever, I should say.
And so, we saw week 17. We even said it last week. Very weird, always a weird week. People sitting. Mahomes ended up not playing. Then you had coaches like Doug Peterson start Jalen Hurts for the first half and then bring in Nate Sudfeld and said, we were trying to win. This was the plan the entire week. Eagles had a chance to win. A lot of Giant fans are mad, although no reason to be mad. You won 6 games.
I mean, fair reason to be mad in the moment, but the team, you do have to win more than 6 games.
Right, but it's not about, but for me, it wasn't even about the Giants.
No.
It wasn't about the Giants. You still 6 wins.
It's just a bad look on national television.
Of course it is. And you saw Al and Chris. They were pissed off. Like, you could tell it in their voices. Like, they're like, what the hell are we watching? But, and they showed, showed on the broadcast the live tweets of the Giant players. And I was like, don't let someone else, the whole thing, control your own destiny. Like, don't let some other team be in control of, what has to happen for you.
Only one team backed into the playoffs this year.
Correct.
The Chicago Bears.
Boom. And I guess the whole AFC that that was the questions what's gonna happen, what scenarios are gonna happen. Dolphins didn't get it done. Dolphins didn't
even come to play.
56-26. Bills literally chewed them up, spit them out, took a fart on them.
First team backups, it didn't matter.
And all of a sudden, after the first few good starts, you're watching. Did the Dolphins already F up with their quarterback? They did not pick the right quarterback. Well, they picked Tua over Herbert, and now it looks like Herbert's going to be the superstar.
Herbert should have been the first quarterback taken in the
draft.
Correct.
I also agree with that.
He didn't have a great senior season after kind of spurning the Giants.
Well, and at the same time, I was like 2 years ago, they thought he was coming out, and then he decided to stay at Oregon for his senior year. Was that for his senior? Yeah.
And, kind of looked like a dig at the Giants that he didn't want to go there, and fair to him, because he ended up in a much better situation with much better weapons in Los Angeles.
Right.
So I was about to say San Diego.
And then with Lynn, I'm saying,
bye-bye, Lynn.
I'm saying Lynn getting fired. I know, people have a ton of respect for him.
Desirable coaching job.
But I'm saying now, they're saying the Chargers coaching job, the Jags coaching job, and even when I say the Jets, I think those are really the top 3 places that you're going to be looking at with, all right, we have the draft picks, we have the cap space, and then with the Chargers, all right, we have our guy. We have our talent. We have good we have Bosa locked up. We got these guys already.
Yeah,
what can we do? Right, what can we do with that? They're going to be a playoff team next year. I think so. I really think so.
It's a tough division, but I wouldn't say it's out of bounds to say that, but I wouldn't go out.
I don't even care about the record. I think the Chargers were better than the Raiders this year. I don't even care about the record. The Raiders played one good month of football, and everyone was like, "Oh, playoffs! Here we go!" Oh, guess what? You're the Super Bowl champs of October. Next.
The Chargers just pulled the Falcons a lot. They just beat themselves late.
Yeah, terrible.
They only lost one game by more than one possession. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Well, I'm saying
or two.
Three weeks in a row, it came down to them giving up a touchdown, them scoring a touchdown that actually got overturned after, so lost, and then they almost lost to the Jets. I remember, like, I was watching. It's whatever. First matchup, Colts Bills. So Colts, they got in with the Dolphins loss. They beat the Jags, took care of business there. After losing to them week 1. The one win
Dude, they went up.
The Jags got all year came week 1 against the Colts.
They went up big in this game, too, and then, like they did against, oh my God, who did they play last week? Who did they lose to last week?
The Colts?
Yeah. Oh, the Steelers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Right, they gave up the second half.
They were up huge, and they let, I don't know what the play calling is. I don't know why they don't come out after halftime, like, energized to go finish a game, but the Jags almost got back in this. The Jags almost made a comeback and spoiled the Colts' playoff chances, but the Colts found it and just feed Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I don't know why that wasn't the game plan all season.
He got hurt a little bit, but even before the injury, he was not getting enough touches, to be honest. After you see now, he ran the ball like the first quarter, 105 yards on 8 carries.
I mean, you knew what you were getting out of him. Like, he did the same thing at Wisconsin for,
absolutely.
3 years, 4 years? Did he say through his senior year? I mean, give him the ball 20, 25 times a game, and he's going to run for 200. He won't do that every time in the NFL.
Especially this year, like, all right, we don't need Phil to do everything. He's not a mobile quarterback. If he throws for, 200 to 250 a game, a touchdown, that's all we need.
A little better than 2015 Peyton Manning. Game manager at this point.
Exactly.
Make the throws he needs to, and that's all you gotta. That's all you can ask out of him. You're not putting the game on his shoulders, or you shouldn't, because it's not gonna work out.
So it's Colts Bills. Bills are favored -6.5. This sucks because I think against any other team in the AFC right now, I would like the Colts. The Bills are playing almost perfect football right now, and I just don't see them I don't see them getting knocked out in the first round after like what they've been doing. But this could be Phil's last game.
I think he'll be back.
I don't think he'll be back on the Colts though. If he does, do you think he stays with Indy?
I think that they've warmed up to it. I don't think at the beginning of the season that was ever going to be their plan, but the way they played, I don't know if there's a better option. They don't seem to be super high on Eason, who they drafted. He hasn't really got much of a... I'm wondering,
do they reach out to... I'm saying, just for younger...
There's been so much...
Do they reach out to, like, Philly or the Jets for a Darnold or a Wentz or something like that? That's what I'm wondering.
There's been so much linking between them and Wentz because of Reich.
Right. That's why I think it makes sense. Why I think it makes sense.
But I don't know how any team in the NFL could trade for Carson Wentz right now. That contract is just about to start hitting.
I was going to say, yeah.
And it's going to be a disaster, and he hasn't been good in 2 years. He's just too many injuries. He's not a bad quarterback.
I don't think it's him being bad. It's just like, why would we take the money for the production right now? Like, I'm sure if he goes with Frank Reich, it's the what if it's the, we could definitely do something, but it's literally the cap hit is like so significant that we don't even know, like, is he our starting quarterback at this point?
The Cam Newton situation all over again.
Yeah.
Elite, like a good quarterback, very good quarterback, who will win you games and who you would want to start under center for your team. Too many injuries. They've taken his toll. I mean, the dude fractured his back, twice?
Yeah.
He's not the same player. He doesn't look like he has any confidence, and obviously that could change in the right situation, but
yeah, I mean,
I'm not giving up. I mean, not that it would probably take a lot to get him, but I'm not taking that chance, especially with a team that just went.
And that's the big difference. Like, what, Cam got paid $1 million this year, with some incentives. But
on a team that didn't expect to make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if I guess you always expect to.
Like, I don't think Bill did with the amount of guys that opted out on defense, but that's the thing. The difference, like, Wentz literally $26 million coming up. Cam was more on like a prove it contract.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what
he won't be there next year.
No, he won't. But I think he's gonna be on a team.
If he wants to accept a backup role, I don't think he could be a starter anywhere.
And I said a few weeks ago, I think the biggest thing that screwed him up was him getting COVID. He looked so good the first 4 or 5 weeks as the Patriots starter. Like, he got stuffed 4-1. The Sunday night football game against the Seahawks. When he got stuffed at the line.
Yeah.
That was one of the best games I've seen him play. ran for over 100 yards on the ground, ran like 2 in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know the long-term effects that COVID has on, depending on who the person is. Some people have longer-term effects, and who knows, maybe next year he can come back and he can look like that again, but I don't know who's going to take the chance on that.
Yeah.
Especially after the last few years. Like, you can't even just, it could just be just COVID, and he was healthy before he got it, and, he's having some longer-term effects of it, but his last few years, I don't know who's going to take a chance on it just being that.
All right, anyway. So I would say back to the matchup though. Colts-Bills. Josh Allen's, I think, going to be the runner-up for MVP. He's been playing that good,
no question,
and especially just the numbers that he's been going off over since that loss to the Cardinals on that Hail Mary. They haven't lost since that week, and again, that probably should have been a win. I'm gonna stay Bills. I like them -6.5. What do you like?
I like the Colts. I like the Colts +6.5. I think this is honestly the worst matchup for them. Obviously, the Bills are the second strongest team, if not the strongest team right now.
I would have loved them against the Titans. The Colts. I would have loved them against the Titans.
Divisional game. It would have been tough.
Right. Like any other, or even the Steelers.
The Steelers. I would have liked them against because they dominated them for 3 quarters, really.
Yeah, they got they being the last team.
But I like that defense. I think that the Bills haven't played a really strong defense in the last 6 weeks or so. I mean, they played the Steelers they dominated.
They're probably going to be fine, but a few of them got banged. Like I know Poyer got a little nicked up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they have some question marks, but I think that the Colts just play close games. They're not going to get blown out by the Bills. I think the Bills probably still win this game, but I bet you it's going to be closer than people expect.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think if it was anything over 7, I would have totally gone to the Colts. But I think 6.5 it's a solid number. That's why I'm taking.
My luck, it'll finish 7-point game the way it works. So.
All right. So that's the first one. I'll take the Bill. Oh, are you taking the Bills to win though?
Yeah.
Okay. Bills to win. I'll take the spread. You just take the Colts on the spread. Okay. So second game. So Colts-Bills, first game on Saturday. Second game on Saturday, Rams-Seahawks. Another divisional matchup. These guys just played.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. You're right. 2 weeks ago.
Seahawks won.
Close one too, though, right? Rams covered.
Did they? You want to look that up? You want to look that up quick?
Let me.
We don't. I don't think we put in who did, but I think the Seahawks wire to wire won that game. They might. They definitely didn't cover.
Rams were +1.5.
They definitely didn't cover. It was not a 1-point game. Watch it be a 1-point game.
Did the Rams win? The Rams didn't win outright then. No. Okay. So.
No, the Seahawks won.
Seahawks covered then. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Anyway. Rams-Seahawks. Seahawks -3.5. We don't know if Goff is playing. He had surgery like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago on the stump.
No, it was like a week ago.
Was it a week ago?
Yeah, it was just it was in that Seahawks game that he broke his thumb. He had the surgery on like Thursday and he was throwing on Sunday.
And then, so the Rams starting quarterback is a guy that has a professional athlete for the Rams on his LinkedIn account.
Hey, professional athlete, not just for the Rams, but he did have it when he played for the Hot Shots.
For the AAFL, whatever, right?
Oh, wasn't it the XFL?
No, I thought it was the American. I thought it was AAF. Yeah, it was AAF, I think.
Yeah, it might have been that.
Okay.
Too many football leagues have come and started up and absolutely failed in the last 2 years. But yeah, he played
Dwayne
there.
Is gonna bring the XFL back,
and it'll last just as long as it did
Rock
this time.
For you guys out there. I'm taking the Seahawks 3.5. I mean.
Yeah,
I feel like I have to.
If Goff plays, is it going to be like a Kyler Murray this week, where he just tries to play through it? And Kyler Murray looked awful. I should not have been playing. I get that.
Yeah, right.
It was a playoff game, but he was obviously hurt, and I mean, it showed. He could not run. What was that? That third down play, they tried to run an option with him. He's on like a leg and a half. And they tried to run an option with him. I really don't know what the play call was there, and then they punted.
Dude,
and they were like, they knew.
This Seahawks team is so weird, up and down. They were the talk of the NFL for the first half of the season. I haven't heard a lick of them because Russ's play has been worse.
Russ's play has been so inconsistent.
Right. The Seahawks, like,
or I guess consistently just not great. Like he was the MVP frontrunner after 6 weeks.
6 or 7 weeks. Right. They were what? They were literally 6-1 or 6-0 or something. Like,
I don't know if they were that. I don't think they were that good. That defense let them down a lot. They were just scoring a lot of points, and that defense was one of the worst in the league. Worst against the pass. I think they've tightened it up a little bit, but I still think you got to take the Seahawks here. They're playing good football right now, and
Jamal Adams questionable, by the way. Finally made the playoffs. Couldn't light a cigar.
Basically,
correctly. Did you see that? I mean,
not once but twice lit the wrong end of a cigar.
Twice?
Yeah.
Oh no! Like the second time when he was there, no one wanted to tell him. I guess.
Yeah.
No one was like, Jamal. That's
to be fair, he said, "I've never been here before." He goes, so.
What I thought you were supposed to the saying is act like you've been here before.
Well, he hasn't. So
he lighting like the wrong end, just like doesn't know anything. Okay.
He's just a defensive end. He's an edge rusher in a safety. Doesn't do much else.
The reason why I don't like this game in general is that like
there's too many question marks with the Rams.
Too many question marks with the Rams, but also like
divisional matchup.
I will not be surprised if the Seahawks get booted right here first. Like,
I think the NFC is really wide open. And it's
I don't even think they're a top 3 team in that conference right now.
Who do you think the Bucs are 3?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say Packers, Saints first and second. Like you can interchange. Rodgers playing great, whatever. But I really think that the Bucs are the 3rd team right now.
Yeah, I mean they're playing really good football right now too. But the thing with them is they have 1 win against teams in the playoffs, and it's the Packers.
Right.
So maybe if they get to Lambeau in the NFC Championship, then they have a shot. Or actually, they may have to go there next week, depending on what happens.
Well, let's roll right into it because the Bucs game is the 3rd one, the final one on Saturday, -8 against Washington. Washington gets in after they beat the Eagles Sunday Night Football. They're the
did they beat the Eagles
or did the Eagles? Yeah,
did the Eagles beat themselves?
Yeah, right, exactly. But the 7-9, the under 500 NFC East team that we were promised by the gods. They get in. Bucs on the road, -8. The Bucs are rolling right now, but I really want to take Washington +8.
Fun fact: the last 3 teams that got in
under 500,
all
won
their first playoff game. Panthers, Seahawks,
and then that was Marshawn against the Saints, right?
Yep.
The first one,
and then lost to the Bears next week.
Fact.
Then we won't talk about what happened after that.
Was that the year? Was that the Super Bowl year?
No, they didn't go. They didn't go to the Super Bowl. The Saints did, or no, the Packers did. Sorry, NFC Championship. That's when the Jets lost. Yes, we don't. That's why I said we don't talk about that year.
That's a bad year, not a year for us. I mean, here's the thing though, and I'm the first one to admit it. Like, I did not think Brady statistically was having that great of a year, dude. He's top 4. He was the 3rd in the league.
43 touchdowns,
dude, and he was 3rd in passing this year.
Yeah. He was
unbelievable. And
Bears get to play him again next year because they finished in the same spot in the division.
Oh god.
Yay.
I feel like -8 is so big, but at the same time, so Washington's defense is really good, and that can bring pressure to Brady. But also, don't sleep on the Bucs defensive front. I feel like they're gonna be all over Alex Smith this entire game. I feel that that Washington was a better match for the Bucs than the Giants were because Daniel Jones can escape the pocket, can throw on the run, better escapability than Smith. Smith has just been a pocket passer now, especially with everything.
Pocket passer, he's on. I mean, he was ready on 1.5 legs, right. And he doesn't look good right now with whatever that calf injury is. And Ron Rivera even said they might roll 2 quarterbacks in this game, which never works out. I don't understand why it's ever an option for head coaches. I get that, like, you want to play your starter, and your starters, even if he's healthy enough to play at some capacity, he's most likely better than your backup. But I just don't think that is going to work out. And Washington is a team that defense is pretty legit, and they can keep it within 8 points. It's a lot, especially in a playoff game. But the way the Bucs are rolling, and Chase Young saying he wants Tom immediately when that game ends.
Yep.
Normally that doesn't go too well for players who go, I want Tom. Where are you, Tom? Just not. Don't poke the bear.
Yeah. I'm taking the Bucs for sure. -8.
I kind of want to take Washington, but I'm not.
So
going
do
to.
I'm taking the Bucks.
Taking the Bucks.
I'm gonna play the chalk on this one. I'm taking
don't
the Bucks
bet on
-8.
it.
Yeah.
Don't bet on the spread.
I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting.
Be interesting to see where it closes. If it
Right.
goes up, as in the Bucks get favored by more points, I would take Washington. I don't know if it'll be more.
I mean, I don't think the Bucks will get into double digits. I don't think.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think the Bears Saints game will be the highest.
Yeah, which
spread.
it is right now.
Will close. I should say.
If the Giants were playing the Bucks, I would have taken the Giants solely because Tom Brady cannot beat the New York Giants in the playoffs.
Is it Tom Brady can't beat the Giants or Tom Brady can't beat Eli Manning?
Touche.
Although Tom Brady won 3 against the NFC East.
Right. All right, Bucks -8. That's the Saturday slate.
You can tell we're really confident in it. So
Yeah, I don't think.
really trust us here.
Okay, yeah. On to Sunday. Ravens Titans rematch of last year's divisional, right? Yes. Dude, Christian, I don't know if you remember this. This is the game that we watched when we went to Applebee's last year.
Yeah,
Didn't you
guys
go?
did.
And we drank the dishwater?
I think you guys went to Applebee's during it. I was at my
I thought you
aunt's
were with me,
babysitting.
no?
I might have been working.
Anyway, we
I
got
feel
those
like you
dollar
went.
drinks from Applebee's that tasted like sugar dishwater.
I know what
It
you're talking about.
tasted like absolute crap.
Yeah, I think you told me to come, but I had to babysit, and I fell asleep during this game.
That was like you, Connor.
Yes.
Eric and
yes.
Dario,
Yeah,
you weren't
yeah.
there. God
Yeah.
damn it! But
City
that
Boys.
was the game that everyone thought, because that was last year. Lamar MVP. Tannehill playing a few good games in the year. Who cares? Tannehill came in. Derrick Henry went boom, 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 and they marched their way to a meeting with the Patriots, and they.
I was always on the Tannehill train.
Woo!
My dad
Beep,
hated
beep.
him
Beep, beep,
when he
beep.
was with the Dolphins. He didn't think he was very good. I'm like, this team just sucks. Watch out for it. And then
Went
they
to
let
the
him go.
Patriots, and they beat the Pats,
The
and
Patriots,
then they
yeah.
blew a lead to the Chiefs, and the rest is history.
They didn't go. Was that game in New England? When the Titans played? Oh, the Titans were a wild card
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
No. Were they? I don't know.
No,
Who
yeah.
won that division last year? The Texans win that division?
Yes, because they hosted the Bills. Remember the Bills blew that
Oh,
lead?
yeah.
Because the Bills were the other wild card. Were the
Yeah.
other wild card,
Yes.
yeah.
That was.
Yep. Yep.
And then
And Tom Brady's
So was
last
it pick
throw was the
six?
pick
Yeah,
six.
yeah.
Logan Ryan.
Well, last
boom,
throw was a
boom,
Patriot.
boom. Yeah, last throw was a Patriot. Boom, boom, boom. What a great love it.
nothing for you guys.
No. All right, so Ravens -3 versus the Titans. Both teams 11-5. Obviously Titans win the division. They get a home game. Ravens this time are a wild card team, right? Because this game was at Baltimore last year.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Baltimore was the 1 seed, were they not? I think
Yes.
Baltimore only lost one game last year.
Yeah, no, you're
one
right.
or two.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yes. So Derrick Henry, rushing
Tractor
champ,
Cito.
literally boom, 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 gets his 250 week 17.
2K.
Yeah, I mean, Ravens are still favored -3, and
Dan Orlovsky, tweet of the year.
what was it?
If you take Derrick Henry's second half rush yards for the entire year, he would have 1,096 yards. So he'd be like the 4th leading rusher or whatever.
Just on second half.
Just
alone.
on second half alone. Okay. Yeah, Dan, he finished with over 2,000 yards. That's about half his total. So if you took out half the damn
Right.
game for half of the season, he would
It's
have
like
half
the
of his
game.
total yards. Amazing
And
insight.
2 + 2 is 4.
Amazing insight from ESPN as always.
Love it.
Um,
They're still favored, the Ravens, though.
I think the Ravens are the better team.
And right now they're playing better. They're the better team right now. And
They are better than an 11-5 wild card team. They should have won that division. COVID issues
right,
really hurt them.
right. The one thing that it's funny because both of these teams play the possession game. Ravens defense is better than the Titans. I know that. But if the
Titans is more balanced though.
right, and the thing that and the reason why the line's so small is that all right, Titans can control the possession game, running the ball with Henry, but also Lamar can do the same with his feet. They can keep the ball for long periods of time. So I'm telling you, it's right. It's perfect where it is. This is gonna be a one possession game. I think the entire way.
If you think about it, the Ravens are what the line is saying is that the Ravens are really 6-point favorites. Because normally as a home team, you get 3 points off the bat.
True.
So the Titans are at home, and the Titans are +3.
Yeah.
So really what they believe is that the Ravens should, if it was at neutral field, it would be a touchdown.
Win by touchdown, right.
And I kind of think they will. I really want to take the Titans, especially the way they absolutely dominated them last year. But the defense is not the same. They're not playing to the same capabilities. But I don't trust this Ravens team is really, Lamar's been playing really well. And
since he's come back, yeah.
I just don't trust him if they have to throw the ball. They're going to win games like that. And the Titans, if you shut down Henry, and there is a way to shut down Henry. He's going to get his carries. He's going to get his yards.
Right, he's getting 25 a game regardless. You know that.
You have to clog it up. Don't let him bounce at the outside because it takes him, he's a bigger back. He's still very quick. But if you hit him and don't let him get up to speed, you're going to be able to stop him.
Right, because even if you tackle him, he can fall forward for 4 yards,
It's just clog up the middle. That offensive line is good enough to make a big hole for him, but just try to make sure he doesn't get through it. Once he gets to the second level, he's gone.
Right. I like the Ravens -3 though. I'm gonna take them. I think they win. This is one of those, and of course, and it sucks because there's no fans.
I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna take the Titans.
You're gonna take the Titans?
I'm gonna flip my.
Okay.
I want to take them. I don't really like the AFC North, so I don't.
I don't like the Ravens. I'm. It's funny. I'm gonna take the Titans -3. I'm gonna be rooting for. I'm gonna take the Ravens -3. I'm gonna be rooting for the Titans the entire game though.
Yeah.
I'm okay to be wrong with that.
I don't trust them. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
And I like Tannehill. He's a great story.
He's been playing great
football the past.
That receiving core is quietly
very good.
Top 5 receiving
Brown,
core.
Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith. Just a good.
All right, maybe top 10. Maybe not top 5, but
no, top. I would say top 10 though. AJ Brown's a
stud. Yeah, I would definitely say top 10, but top 5 is a little.
Yeah, Corey Davis is finally playing really well again. I think Jonnu Smith's I would say a solid top 10 tight end when he gets his targets. Yeah. Tannehill has loved him. More towards the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and it just depends what kind of game plan they have to play. Tannehill doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times a game, so your tight end isn't going to get
that's the thing.
Target, especially
the past few
those
games,
two receivers.
Tannehill's throwing maybe 25. He's dropping back 25 times.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I'm taking the Titans. Cue it up.
Game 2 Sunday. Bears.
Pass.
Saints. Bears are a +10 dog versus the Saints.
Hammer the Saints.
I don't care how good the Saints are. This number is very big.
This number is huge.
I would take the Bears, especially that the Bears and Saints played this year while Foles was at quarterback and that game went to overtime.
Trash.
Kamara's going to be back, it looks like, because they're playing Sunday. So he'll be fine.
The NFL scheduled it so that teams that had COVID issues will be able to have their teams, which they should. I'm not complaining about that.
We'll talk about it later, but the Browns are playing the later game.
Well, that's a different
and that's even a different story. But Kamara will be good to come back. It looks like Michael Thomas is coming back.
Slant boy, he's trash. Fuller will shut him down. Well, it's Pagano less Fuller.
Saints are getting their offensive pieces back, but I still think 10 is a double-digit line.
Oh, you're taking the Bears?
Oh, heck yeah, I'm taking the Bears.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I was so confused.
I don't care how much I root for the Saints. That number, dude, 10 points. That's a lot.
I'm in next season mode. I'm in happy the Bears made the playoffs because it gives me another week of my favorite team before hockey returns.
Yeah.
Because the Rangers come back next Thursday against the Islanders.
Right. So
it's gonna be fun.
Right. You don't have
the Bears get me to it. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I still have some rooting interest, but I knew it was gonna.
Terabithia.
Nope. Nope.
That's actually wrong.
I told you all what was gonna happen last week with the Packers. I told you that's the only reason I took the Rams last week.
Bet the mortgage. Packers -5.5.
Bet your entire
won
house.
Your money.
If you listened, you're welcome. Those games always end the same way with Aaron Rodgers, and the next Packers quarterback will end the same way too. Take the Saints. The Roquan Smith is probably out. They fear he dislocated his elbow. So on the first drive of that game, he had 3 tackles and he dislocated his elbow. By far the best player on that Bears team, and even with Khalil Mack. And Kamara back. I like Smith to shut him down in the passing game.
I like Hicks.
Hakeem Hicks is the most important player.
Yes.
To that defense.
Not the best, but he's
not
the most important. Of the front.
I mean, of the line. I'd say Roquan Smith is the most important.
Okay.
Jalen Johnson, he fucked up his shoulder probably a month ago now. Yeah, he's stud. Probably wasn't really getting consideration for it, but should have been the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Right, yes.
Obviously wasn't having as many impact plays like picks and stuff.
Right.
But completion percentage and passer rating
covering, yeah. Exactly.
Opposite of Kyle Fuller, they looked really strong, and their safeties, Eddie Jackson, kind of been a bum, honestly.
He hasn't done much.
He hasn't done much. Yeah, no, I love him, but he's really looked bad. This team just doesn't want to tackle.
Because what was it? Like 2 years ago when Fangio was the corner.
Bring him back. Find a way to get him.
Wasn't Jackson? Didn't he lead the league in like picks or something that year?
Yeah, he's had and pick sixes called back. And
yeah,
he was just all over the place. And last year he was good, and this year he started out really hot, and then I don't know. This team just from week 1 never seemed like they wanted to tackle anyone, and it was really weird to see that from the Bears defense that was, top 5, top 3 in the league, really.
And it was weird. It was weird to see a Bears offense be a top 5 offense the last 6 weeks of the season. No?
Soft schedule. I mean, they are playing really well.
They still put up like 30 something a game.
Hey, they were 5 for 5 on 4th downs, and then down by 1 score. Let's run a fucking rollout where there's one option on the play, and who's that one option? Allen Robinson, who top 10 wide receiver, but guess what? Covered by a top 5 cornerback, and that's your only option on the play. What the fuck are they doing?
Ain't gonna get the job done.
It obviously isn't gonna happen, and it obviously won't happen, but that coaching staff should have been fired immediately. They should have been fired fucking after that play calling and horrible game against the Eagles in the playoffs.
I feel like
2 years
this
ago.
is also an excuse. Like Matt Nagy's gonna come back because another playoff.
Oh yeah,
appearance.
he was. If win or lose, get in the playoffs or not, he was coming back. Yeah. And it's
but this is another thing to be like, oh wow, you made it again. Like
Virginia McCaskey, you gotta go. Your dad's been rolling over in his grave for the last 40 years, the way you've been running this team, and you hired the wrong people time after time. Should never fire Lovie Smith.
Lovey!
Don't get me started on
Lovey!
that. Ryan Pace is he's a bum when it comes to offensive scouting. Not so much a bum when it comes to defensive scouting, but you gotta how have you not re-signed Allen Robinson? You're not going to at this point, obviously.
He's
not
going
to come back.
He's gonna be a Jet by years.
If that happens, Nick will be hanging from the ceiling fan in this room because I will not be able to. Every Jet fan I know will be, because I will not be able to deal with you people.
You need number 1 receiver.
Yeah, they really do.
That's our guy.
Al, it'll really help Mims too as he develops.
Yeah. Wait, so you're gonna take the Saints?
I'm gonna take the Saints. I can't. I don't think the Bears. With those injuries too, if Roquan's out, Kamara's gonna have a field day. Danny Trevathan, I mean, what you saw it against Valdez-Scantling. You can't cover shit.
Marquez Valdez.
Roquan Smith can stop Kamara. Stop. I wouldn't say stop.
Take the Bears.
Don't.
Isn't that funny that
Don't.
I'm taking the Bears. Well,
don't listen.
The Saints are winning this game.
Saints are gonna blow them out of the water. This game will be over 10 minutes in the first quarter.
They're gonna win by a touchdown at least. But 10. I don't know, man. I don't know. Here's the thing. Don't sleep on my guy and your guy, David Montgomery. Okay?
Who said I was sleeping on him? The team sucks.
He's going to run for a tutty.
Yeah, and the Saints are going to score 4 tutties. So what's the difference?
Kamara, another 6-piece.
All right.
McNuggets. Christmas Day. 6-piece nuggets. Tie the record. Big A. AK-41.
I don't know.
You know that's my guy. 6-piece nuggets, 6 tutties.
No,
I know.
I know what you're.
You know what I'm. You know I'm throwing down on you. All right, Browns Steelers. AFC North matchup. Steelers are favored -6. They're at home. I really am rooting for the Browns. Want the Browns to win. They got some COVID troubles. Stefanski, entire coaching staff. They're all on the COVID list right now, and the receivers that were on, like Landry, Peoples-Jones, Higgins, they're eligible. Like they'll be back for this playoff game.
I think they have already been activated.
Yeah, right. But now I'm just wondering, so they got.
I think Denzel Ward's coming back, right? Or was it Greedy Williams? Which one? No, Greedy's out for the year.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward's coming back.
Ward's
He was on
coming,
COVID.
but they're losing their like two
They're
top
like, their
two
whole
top
coaching
linemen
staff.
now.
Their linemen have been out.
Hodges and someone else. One of their big guys. But like they're
not Wills, right? Wills was drafted by them.
I'm not positive. I don't know.
Regardless.
But Steelers -6. Big Ben didn't play last week.
But they were rolling before.
But they were rolling before. I'm gonna take the Steelers -6. If the number was any bigger, I'd probably go Browns. Just similar to the Bills. I think that this is still a safe number to go with the Steelers. Who knows? Who knows who's calling the offensive plays Sunday? You know, it depends over the next few days how Test comes back for them. I mean, they just played.
Yeah.
Like literally week 17. This was the matchup. Browns won and they got in, but they won by 2 against Mason Rudolph.
No, I think the Steelers have realized that they need to push the ball down the field. I think that Colts game really woke it up in them, what they were missing, when they were on that losing streak. And you got to rely on Ben. This running game is absolute
But that's the thing.
Trash.
I think that they rely on Ben too much. Where the hell is James Conner? What the hell is he doing? Nothing.
Yeah, because it's all the story in Pittsburgh is these running backs, but it's not. It's the offensive line.
He drops back 50 times a game.
It was always that offensive line.
So what? Play action will never work. That's not going to work at all. James Conner, as soon as Bell left, was an absolute stud.
Yeah,
running all over.
Of just like Le'Veon Bell was a stud, is that offensive line. Not that Le'Veon wasn't a great running back, but it's that offensive line. He had so much time to sit back there and decide which hole he wanted
James
to hit.
Conner running 13 for 29. You're fucking out of here.
They got to push the ball downfield. They weren't doing it during that losing streak. They weren't, opening up the offense, kind of like how the Bears do. They just everyone runs a 5-yard route, and then, the DBs are all on it because guess what? When you don't have to go backwards, you can jump routes. And now in that Colts game in the second half, they opened it up, and Ben obviously can still throw the ball downfield. He wouldn't be playing the game if he couldn't.
Receivers
maybe this guy on your
receivers also have to catch the
sleeve
ball.
can't do it. But that too.
Yeah, Drew can't fucking throw down the field.
But I like the Steelers here, especially with the Browns coaching COVID issues. I don't think.
So we're going. Oh, are we all in agreement though? Bills.
No, I'm taking the Saints, and I'm taking the Titans.
No. I know spread wise, but overall money line to win for next week: Bills, Seahawks, Bucks, Ravens.
No, I'm gonna take the Titans.
Oh, you want Titans? You
I
think
want
Titans?
Titans
Oh, you think they're gonna win outright? All right. So that's
I don't know if they're gonna. I don't.
But yeah, that's what you'll say though.
I'll say.
Saints and Steelers.
Yeah, Bears are also missing Darnell Mooney. He got hurt in that game too. He had 11 receptions.
That's the thing though. Mooney hasn't been a factor for this offense.
He had 11 receptions last week. What do you mean?
No, but I'm saying even like the weeks prior, like they're not using. And we've talked about this, not using him enough.
Yeah, because they don't throw the ball down the field.
Right. Dude could be they're literally legit number 2.
Yeah,
no,
and he won't be the legit number 2. He'll be the legit number 1 next year because they're not gonna have Allen Robinson.
Yeah. What did we forget to mention? Oh, Chiefs and Packers are on a bye. Dope.
Also, another reason why, kind of happy that the Bears will lose this game. I don't have to live Bears Packers part 3.
Yeah.
Because if the Bears win, they go to Green Bay, and
yeah.
I don't need to watch that. Honestly, I don't need to watch it again. It's miserable. It doesn't. There's not one point in that game. There's some Bears fans I follow like, oh, it seemed like they were really in that game. They were not in that game from the moment it started. They scored the touchdown.
They scored first, all right?
They scored the touchdown, and you still knew that was
Packers came right down the field towards the end of the first quarter, and then scored right away.
Scored again, scored again, scored again, scored again. And guess what? They didn't just score again. They scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see part 3. Saints win, just end the season. Try again next year.
Just end the season. Jets, Jets. Oh God. Sorry. 6 games on the slate, Saturday, Sunday. I guess, hopefully your team wins. Hopefully my team wins.
Well, those two teams can't happen.
They can't both win, but, hey, best of luck to you. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, get your fix.
Go on and see SpongeBob on the end zone.
Gonna be the best worst broadcast you'll ever see.
So I'm gonna peek into it though. Like,
absolutely, I have to watch it
because they're not getting the CBS feed. Like it's someone else doing the game. No,
I don't know. Jack Black. I have no clue.
What's up? It's Jack Black. The Saints and the Bears. This is the take. We will see you next week for the divisional round, and hopefully we got some more MLB news.
Some more? Hopefully we have any.
Hopefully some any at MLB. Hopefully the Mets sign someone. They do something, and NBA. I guess the last little check-in. Knicks 4-3.
SNY is already asking if they're going to make the playoffs.
Right. See, I didn't want to really get into that
typical Knicks. They win a few games and everyone.
How long could we have gone and how long could I have argued and been like, hey, playoffs? Who knows? It's literally 7 games. Let's relax, people. Take it a step back. Have a good week. We will see you in 7.